Level 1. You are born on GJ504b. You do not know it is pink. The sky above you does not get its color from a star. It gets it from the ground. GJ504b is so young, so massive, so hot that it glows. The planet itself radiates light the way a cooling ember does, from within, outward, in every direction. The color is magenta. You grow up under a sky that never darkens. There is no night here, not because of a star above, because of the world beneath your feet. The ground itself is the light source. You learn to sleep in pink. You learn to wake in pink. Every shadow on this world is pink. Every cloud that passes overhead is lit from below in pink. When you are young, you press your palm against the ground and feel the warmth rising through it. Not the warmth of sunlight absorbed and released. The warmth of a planet still deciding whether it is a planet or a star. GJ504b is 4 times the mass of Jupiter. You do not feel that number. You feel it in your legs when you walk. You feel it in the effort it takes to climb anything. Gravity here is not trying to keep you grounded. It is trying to keep you flat. By the time you are an adult, you have developed a body shaped by this world. Shorter than any human born on Earth would be. Broader, denser. Built downward instead of upward, because upward costs too much here. The atmosphere is not breathable the way Earth's is. You have always worn what you need to breathe. It is not uncomfortable. It is simply part of the body the way clothing is part of the body. You have never known your own face without the seal around it. You spend your working years studying the ground, not because it is interesting, although it is, because the ground is changing. GJ504b is cooling, slowly, imperceptibly slowly. But the measurements do not lie. The magenta is deepening. The warmth rising from the surface is fractionally less this decade than it was in the decade before. In your lifetime, the change is invisible. In 10,000 lifetimes, the planet will be something else entirely. Something darker, something colder, something that no longer glows. You will not see it. But you spend your life knowing it is coming, the way you know your own eventual end is coming, as a fact that sits quietly in the background of everything you do. You grow old on GJ504b. Your last years are spent sitting against the warm ground, feeling the heat of a planet that is slowly running out of it. The sky above you is still pink, still glowing, still lit from beneath by a world that is not finished yet. You close your eyes for the last time, in permanent magenta light. The planet does not notice. It is still cooling. It will still be cooling long after every trace of you has been absorbed back into the ground that warmed you your entire life. Level 2. You are born on Hat P7b, on the night side. This matters more than anything else about your life on this world. Hat P7b is tidally locked. One face pointed permanently at its star. One face pointed permanently away. The dayside temperature is 2,860 degrees. Nothing you are made of survives that. Nothing anyone has ever been made of survives that. You are born on the night side. You will live on the night side. You will die on the night side. The day side is not a place. It is a direction you never look. The night side is cold. Not comfortable cold. Not winter cold. The kind of cold that makes metal brittle and thought slow, and the body want to stop trying. But you were born here. Your body knows this cold the way a fish knows water. The sky above the night side is black. Genuinely, completely black. The star that owns this planet sits on the other side of the world, and its light does not reach you directly. What reaches you instead is what falls from the sky. On the day side of Hat P7b, the temperature is high enough to vaporize aluminum oxide. It rises into the upper atmosphere as gas. It drifts on the jet stream toward the night side. Then it cools. And as it cools, it does not become rain. It becomes crystals. Corundum crystals. The same mineral structure as rubies. The same mineral structure as sapphires. Falling from the sky in a constant glittering storm across the entire night side of the planet. You grew up under gemstone rain. It is not gentle. The wind that carries the crystals from the day side to the night side moves at 5,400 kilometers per hour, faster than most bullets leave a gun. The structures you live in are built for this. Every surface angled to deflect. Every wall thick enough to absorb impact. Every window made of material harder than the crystals falling against it. You have never stood in the open during a full storm. Nobody has and lived to describe it. But you have stood in the sheltered places where the wind breaks and the crystals drift down slowly in the relative stillness. You have held one in your gloved hand. It catches the light from your suit lamp and throws it back in colors that have no equivalent in the world you know. Not red, not blue, something between both that your eye was not designed to process, and processes anyway, into something it has no name for. You let it go. The wind takes it immediately. You spend your adult life studying the boundary. The place where the day side and night side meet is called the terminator. A wall of wind so fast and so constant that it has scoured the landscape into shapes nothing geological would ever produce on its own. You study these shapes. You measure the wind. You count the crystals per cubic meter of air. You are one of perhaps a few hundred people who have ever lived on this world. The isolation is absolute in a way that has no comparison. There is no horizon here in the direction of the day side. There is only the light, a permanent glow at the edge of everything that you have been told is the star and have never been allowed to approach. You are told it is beautiful. You have no way to verify this. You grow old on Hat P7b. Your hands have caught 1,000 crystals. Your ears have learned to read the pitch of the wind and know what the storm will do next. Your eyes have adjusted to permanent darkness, lit only by the glow at the edge and the occasional lamp. In your last years, you sit and listen to the crystals hitting the walls of your shelter. A sound like a million tiny bells struck simultaneously and continuously and forever. It is the only music this world has. You have always found it beautiful. You close your eyes for the last time, listening to rubies fall from a sky you never fully saw. The storm does not pause. It has been falling for billions of years. It will fall for billions more. Your entire life was a brief silence between impacts. Level 3. You are born on 55 Cancri E. Your first year ends in 18 hours. Not metaphorically, not approximately. 55 Cancri E completes one full orbit of its star in 17.7 hours. You are born. 18 hours pass. You have completed your first year. By the time you are old enough to understand what a year means, you have already lived through thousands of them. The concept of a year on this world means nothing. Time is measured differently here. Has to be. A calendar built on years would be useless before breakfast. 55 Cancri E is a super-Earth, twice the diameter of our planet, 8 times the mass. You feel every gram of that mass in every step you take. The gravity here would press an Earth human into something barely functional. But you were born here. Your skeleton developed under this weight. Your muscles built themselves around this gravity the way muscles always build themselves around the gravity they know. You are strong in ways that would seem impossible elsewhere. You are also shorter than any version of you born somewhere lighter would have been. The surface of 55 Cancri E is not solid everywhere. The star it orbits is so close that the dayside surface temperature reaches 2,700 degrees. Rock melts at those temperatures. The dayside is an ocean. Not water, lava. A global ocean of molten rock on the face of the planet permanently pointed at the star. You live on the night side. The night side is cooler. Cool enough that rock is solid. Cool enough that you exist. But the boundary moves. Tidal forces flex the planet constantly. The molten rock on the day side exerts pressure on the solid rock of the night side. The ground beneath you is not stable. It has never been stable. It will never be stable. You grew up learning to read the ground the way others learn to read the sky. A particular vibration means move. A particular color in the rock means the heat below is rising. A sound that is more felt than heard means you have perhaps minutes. You have moved your shelter more times than you can count. Not because you wanted to, because the ground decided. Your adult life is defined by adaptation. You adapt to the gravity. You adapt to the time scale. You adapt to the ground that is never entirely trustworthy beneath you. The sky above the night side is lit by the glow from the day side boundary. A permanent deep orange-red light at the horizon in the direction of the star. Not sunrise, not sunset. Just a permanent, angry glow that tells you where the lava ocean ends and the solid ground you stand on begins. You spend your working years mapping the boundary. It moves. Not quickly by human timescales, but measurably, documentably. The lava ocean is not static. It breathes wit, the tidal pull of the star. You have watched sections of solid ground you walked on years ago become part of the molten boundary. You have watched the boundary retreat and leave behind cooling rock that nobody has ever stood on before. You are always one of the first to stand somewhere. There is a particular feeling to standing on ground that has never held a living thing before. You know this feeling well. You grow old on 55 Cancri E. Your body carries the history of this world in its proportions, built for weight, built for instability, built for a life measured in 18-hour increments that add up to decades you can barely count. In your last years, the ground beneath your shelter begins to warm in a way you have learned to recognize. You do not panic. You have moved before. You will move again if your body lets you. If it does not, the ground will make the decision for you, the way this world has always made decisions, without asking, without warning, without apology. You close your eyes, listening to the deep vibration of a planet that has never once been still beneath you. It was restless when you arrived. It will be restless long after every trace of you has been absorbed into the rock, and the rock into the lava, and the lava back into the star that made all of this, and will eventually reclaim all of it. Level 4. You are born on Io. The ground is erupting somewhere right now. Not occasionally, not seasonally, right now. Always right now. Io is the most volcanically active body in the solar system. At any given moment, there are approximately 500 volcanic eruptions happening simultaneously across its surface. You did not choose this world. This world chose you by being where you are and being what it is. Io orbits Jupiter. Jupiter is enormous, in a way that the word enormous was not built to describe. It fills a significant portion of your sky. Not the way the moon fills Earth's sky, the way a wall fills a room. You grew up looking at Jupiter the way others grow up looking at weather. It is simply there, banded, vast, permanent. The thing that organizes your sky and your gravity and the volcanic chaos beneath your feet. Because it is Jupiter's gravity that makes Io what it is. Io is caught between Jupiter's pull and the pull of two other moons, Europa and Ganymede. These three forces fight over Io constantly, and Io absorbs that fight as heat. The interior of Io is perpetually molten because the gravitational tug-of-war never stops. The surface is the result of that heat trying to escape. You grew up learning the volcanic landscape the way others learn a city. This vent is safe. This one is not. This field of sulfur deposits means something is building below. This particular yellow is fresh sulfur from a recent eruption. This red is older. This white is the oldest. The color of the ground is a map of time, if you know how to read it. You learn to read it young. Everyone here does. The ones who do not last. The sulfur geysers are the most dramatic feature of this world. Some of them reach 500 kilometers high. Not meters, kilometers. 1,000 kilometers of ejected material punching through the thin atmosphere and into space above. You have watched them from a distance. The scale defeats the eye. Your brain keeps insisting that what you are looking at is closer and smaller than it is. It is not. The geyser is simply that large, and you are simply that small in relation to it. The smell of this world is sulfur. Always sulfur. Every breath filtered, but the smell finds ways in anyway. You stopped noticing it sometime in your childhood. It is simply the smell of air now. The smell of existing. Your adult life is spent in the monitoring stations, the network of sensors across Io's surface that track volcanic activity and try to give the people here enough warning to move. Try. Not always succeed. You have evacuated more times than you can clearly remember. The events blurred together after enough of them. A particular vibration, a particular reading on a particular sensor, the practiced movement of people who have done this before and know exactly what it means to wait 1 second too long. You have never waited 1 second too long. Others have. You do not think about them more than you can help. Jupiter moves through your sky with a slowness that makes it seem more like geology than astronomy. You are old now. Your body has absorbed decades of low-level seismic activity. Your hands have a tremor that the doctors say is unrelated and that you know is not. You sleep lightly. You have always slept lightly. The ground here does not reward deep sleepers. In your last years, you sit and watch Jupiter. It has not changed. Not in your lifetime. Not in any lifetime you could have lived here. It will not change for longer than the concept of change can be meaningfully applied. The ground beneath you is erupting somewhere. Right now. It was erupting when you were born. It will be erupting when whatever remains of you becomes part of the sulfur deposits that the next generation will learn to read like a map of time. Level 5. You are born on Triton. The first thing you learn is that everything here moves the wrong way. Triton orbits Neptune backwards. Every other significant moon in the solar system orbits its planet in the same direction the planet rotates. Not Triton. Triton orbits against Neptune's rotation. It has always done this. It will always do this. Scientists believe Triton was not born here. It was captured. It drifted too close to Neptune, and Neptune took it. You think about this sometimes. A world that was going somewhere else and got pulled off course and never left. The surface of Triton is minus 235 degrees Celsius. This is not the coldest temperature that exists in the universe. It is the coldest surface temperature of any measured body in the solar system. You have never felt warmth in the way the word warmth was originally intended. Your warmth comes from within your suit, from the systems that keep you alive, from the energy you generate simply by existing and moving. The warmth of the world itself is not something Triton offers. What Triton offers instead is Neptune. Neptune fills your sky the way nothing else fills any sky anywhere in the solar system. It is blue, not the pale blue of Earth seen from space. A deep, saturated, impossible blue that has no equivalent in any sky you have ever seen images of. You have spent your entire life under that blue. It does not rise or set the way a star or moon would on another world. It hangs. It dominates. It owns the sky the way an ocean owns a shore. You grew up knowing Neptune the way others know the ground beneath them, as the permanent thing, the thing that defines up. The surface of Triton is mostly nitrogen ice, not water ice, nitrogen, frozen gas. When what little sunlight reaches Triton hits the nitrogen ice at the right angle, it heats the nitrogen beneath the surface. The nitrogen becomes gas and erupts through the ice in geysers. Not volcanic geysers, nitrogen geysers. Columns of frozen gas shooting 8 kilometers into the thin atmosphere before drifting downwind as dark streaks across the ice. You have watched them from the observation posts. They are quiet. There is almost no atmosphere here to carry sound. You have watched them in silence. A dark column rising from white ice against a blue sky that is entirely Neptune. It is the most beautiful thing you have ever seen, and you have seen it thousands of times, and it has never stopped being the most beautiful thing you have ever seen. Your adult life is spent on the surface. Triton is slowly dying. Its backwards orbit means Neptune's gravity is gradually pulling it inward. In approximately 3.6 billion years, Triton will cross the Roche limit, the point at which Neptune's tidal forces will tear it apart. It will become a ring. You will not see this. No version of anything alive today will see this. But you know it is coming, the way you know everything here is defined by forces that do not consult you and do not pause for you and will not remember you. You grow old on Triton. Your eyes have adjusted to light levels that would be considered near darkness elsewhere. Your body has spent decades inside systems that keep it alive in an environment that without those systems would end it in minutes. You have lived your entire life inside the technology of survival. In your last years, you spend long hours at the observation window. Neptune above you. Nitrogen geysers rising in silence below. The ice stretching in every direction further than any light here can meaningfully illuminate. You think about the fact that this world was going somewhere else once. That Neptune reached out and took it and kept it, and that everything that has ever lived here has lived inside that capture. You close your eyes for the last time, under a blue that has no name in any language spoken anywhere you have ever been. Triton continues its backwards orbit. It has been doing this since before your solar system finished forming. It does not know you were here. It never did. 5 planets. 5 lives. None of these lives were easy. None of them were anything a human body was designed for. And yet, a life is a life. Wherever it happens, whatever the sky looks like above it, whatever the ground does beneath it. And even then, the planet keeps going. It always does.